Ria TV, True FM.
Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
YouTube, True FM, 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrier?
The black barrier is to tell Joseph Bakala, if you don't organize yourself in your grateful manner, we'll take your later like
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
Some news, summary of 12. My name is Hansen Der Capuchin. Welcome to News and Analysis, 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life, that's what you see. I live a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life, that's what I live, you know, with my family and
I have a lot of interest in the health sector, the educational sector, and the agriculture sector. Both.
The 25th edition of the program News Desk. News Desk is a 45 minutes news presentation from the News and Current Affairs Department here at the Renaissance Communications Incorporated. This news program is powered by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited. Top stories we following this evening. President Joseph Boakai issued executive orders on support for refugee and vulnerable people, protection of beach fronts, waterways and wetlands, revenue collection on international travels, and mandatory firearms registration. Liberia ranks among the top 10 stable countries in Africa, according to Africa Country Instability Risk Index report. Defense lawyers warn criminal could see George Roosevelt Willie dismisses indictment against former finance minister Samuel Tweed and others, say their clients' action bordered on national security. And out of Liberia, Sudan Army says it has broken a near 2-year siege imposed by the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces on the key southern state capital of El Odar. These developments plus more are all parts of today's edition of the program News Desk. Let's take a short break to be right back.
Ria TV, True FM.
Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
YouTube, True FM, 96.1.
Welcome back and thanks for joining us. This news program is powered by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited. Let's now join Edwin Butterfoyan with the news bulletin. Good evening, Edwin.
Good evening, Naketa Roberts. Good evening, everyone. In an effort to strengthen national security and public safety, the President Joseph Boakai has issued Executive Order number 141, mandating the registration of all firearms in civilian possession. According to Executive Marshal release, his order comes in response to the growing national security threats posed by illicit firearms, including the military-style weapons, which have contributed to recent incidents of armed violence, including armed robberies and other criminal activities. Meanwhile, President Joseph Boakai has issued Executive Order number 144, reinforcing the government's commitment to integrating former refugees and expanding access to social service and safety nets for vulnerable populations. This executive order builds upon the foundation set by Executive Order number 108, which has since expired and aligns with Liberia's international obligation under the 1951 Refugee Convention and its 1967 protocol. President Joseph Boakai Sr. has also issued Executive Order number 143, establishing task force against the erosion of beach farms, waterways, and wetlands. This initiative underscores the government's commitment to protecting Liberia's natural resources mitigating environmental degradation, and ensuring public health and economic stability. The Liberian leaded further issues Executive Order number 142, which suspends the goods and services tax (GST) on international travel services and replaces it with a fixed levy on airline tickets for passengers departing Liberia. The decision comes as part of the government commitment to strengthening revenue mobilization with that while addressing the present challenges associated with the collection of GST and airline tickets, particularly those purchased online. The new measure aims to minimize revenue leakages, ensuring the more transparent and efficient collection process and sustain economic growth. President Joseph Boakai has pledged his government full support in developing the Maigibi University into an institution of higher learning, promising that his government will work to expand the infrastructure of the university. Speaking at the third graduation ceremony of the Maigibi University over the weekend in Habel, President Boakai also revealed plans to cooperate with partners such as China Union and Pastor Liberia to provide the necessary resources to enhance quality education in Maigibi. The Liberian leader further underscored the need for education in the transformation of Liberia and ensure students, faculty, administrators of his government commitment to expanding and improving the institution. President Boyka hereby reminded the graduates that their degrees represent not just personal sources, but a responsibility to contribute to national development. The judiciary has instructed all circuit court judges to monitor all magistrates in the Leeward counties. The court administrator of the judiciary instruction to all judges comes following reports that magistrates in the counties were contemplating on abandoning the various courts in the counties. Councillor Elizabeth Nelson instructed judges to further mandate them to do the regular attendance for magistrates to report to her office. Councillor Nelson further stated that any magistrate court pay reports from judges, punitive actions will be taken against them according to the policy of the judiciary. Reports of magistrate pending abandonment of courts is in connection to recent allotment made by the government of Liberia to circuit court judges, thus leaving magistrates out of the process. Stay at the judiciary, lawyers representing former Finance Minister Samuel Tuer and others Monday filed a motion before Judge Roosevelt Willie seeking to dismiss the indictment drawing against their clients at Criminal Court C. Defense lawyers' 10 counts motion, among other things, cited the 2011 Act creating the National Security Reform and Intelligence as their reliance to dismiss the indictment. Section 3F of the Act states that every member, a personnel employee of the National Security Council, shall be deemed a trustee of the secrets of the country. According to them, the over $6 million United States dollars that led to their indictment was used for national security operations. As such, coming to court to disclose any information will be in violation of the Act. The defense lawyers maintained that on said Act, they are exempted from criminal prosecution and pray on the court to dismiss the indictment drawing against them as provided by law. Their application for dismissal comes out to the hearing at Criminal Court C, where some legal pundits describe it as illegal technically to delay to court time. As a result of their request, Solicitor General Counsel Augustine Fayad interposed no objected but prayed for continuance, which was granted by Judge Roosevelt Willie. The case will resume on Wednesday, February 26. A pro-democratic organization, the Faith and Justice Network, is calling on the Liberian government through the Liberian Anti-Corruption Commission and the Access Recovery Team and the Justice Ministry to make individuals found guilty of corruption not to only face the full extent of the law, but also have their ill-gotten gains confiscated and returned to the public coffers. The network executive director, Reverend Dr. Torgbean, said this would send a clear message that corrupt practices will not lead to personal enrichment, but rather to the loss of ill-gained wealth and privilege. Addressing a press conference held in Monrovia on Monday, Reverend Dr. Jada pointed out that the process of corruption should be used to fund initiatives that benefit the people of Liberia, including infrastructures, budgets, education, and healthcare. The executive director of the Faith and Justice Network maintained that those who abuse their position of power for personal gain shall face significant jail sentence that reflect the severity of their action. According to Reverend Dr. Jara, the Faith and Justice Network will advocate for full enforcement of existing anti-corruption laws and for the passage of new stricter legal measures where necessary to enhance accountability and the rule of law. The Reverend Dr. Jara then commended President Joseph Boakai for his decisive action for suspension of non-compliant government officials who have failed to declare their assets as required by law. The National Executive Committee of All Liberian Coalition Party has declared Lucini Camara as lifetime political leader and standard-bearer of the party. ACOP National Chairman Ansu Dolly disclosed that the first political leader, the late Alhaji J.V. Kumar, made the decision when he was on his dying bed. Mr. Dolly made the disclosure at the program aimed at preparing members of the All Liberian Coalition Party for the holy month of Ramadan at the headquarters along the Japanese Highway on Sunday. Speaking during the program, the political leader of the All Liberian Coalition Party, Lucini Camara, appealed to youth in the party to exercise patience as efforts are underway to seek employment for them. According to Mr. Kumar, the party will continue to engage the Unity Party to assist the youth of the party with employment and scholarship opportunity. The party political leader pointed out that the party will continue to organize programs during the Ramadan in order to identify with the less fortunate members during the holy month. The National Commission on Higher Education has begun the inspection of universities and colleges aimed at clearing substandard higher institutions of learning throughout the country. The executive director of the commission, Professor Edward Wonkewo, disclosed that the inspection will cover strategy plans, curriculums, and academic qualifications of facility, classrooms, and landscape of the institution's environment and accreditation. Speaking in an interview with several stations in Monrovia, Professor Wonkewo made it clear that following the inspection exercise, the full reports and recommendations will be forwarded to the Board of Commissioners of the National Commission on Higher Education. According to Professor Wonkewo, there are currently 79 universities and colleges throughout the country. The National Commission on Higher Education, the executive director said, any institution that fails to meet the benchmark set by the government will be closed down. Citizens of Grand Cape County have staged a protest against the appointment of Delano Colley as the County Health Service Administrator. Delano Colley was recently appointed by Health Minister Louis Poto. His appointment has since been resisted by citizens in the county. Our senior Grand Cape County correspondent called the protesters as called on Health Minister to recall his appointment on grounds that he does not have the requisite qualification to serve in such position. As such, his appointment might affect the county health sector. According to the protesters, such role requires someone with expertise in administration and not a certified nurse. Deputy Youth and Sports Minister for TVET, Laurent Med Yonton, has underscored technical and vocational education as a beacon of hope in harnessing development in a country. Minister Yonton believes by acquiring TVET skills in it will enable citizens to be self-sufficient, thus reducing dependency and high-level poverty within any country. Speaking as post for Vice President Jeremiah Cohn as keynote speaker during the 6th graduation exercise of over 900 students from the District 7 Skills Training Center over the weekend in Monrovia, he assured government commitment to fostering strong partnership in developing standardized curriculum for both public and private TVET institutions. To ensure private TVET service provider receives subsidy from the government, Yonton underscored quality efforts in pushing for the passage of the Liberia TVET Commission Act of 2024, which is currently before the Liberian Senate. For his part, the founder and CEO of the DSSTC Montserrat County 7 Representative Emmanuel Dan admonished graduates to serve as catalysts of change in the society. Representative Danny showed his commitment to continue undertaking initiatives that will have impact on residents of the district and its environs. Assistant Minister for Secondary Education, Abba Kangad Jr., has revealed that approximately 80% of elementary students in the country are over the appropriate age for their grades. Kangad Jr. mentioned that many students aged from 13 to 19 are found in grade 1, while the expected age for the grade is 6 years. He spoke on Sunday at the City Hall in Buchanan, Gambasa, during the 5th graduation of the students of the Yombly Cares Foundation. According to the Assistant Minister, the World Bank, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, is aimed at supporting children who are mislaid with their grade level due to the age discrimination. Minister Kangat said the initiative will be 10-month programs designed to help these students transition into the correct grades. Bon County District No. 7 Representative Mama Briggs Mensah is urging the Liberian government to provide a subsidy for Lacoste's College of Education to strengthen its operation. Representative Mensah stressed that financial support would enhance the institution's ability to qualify teachers and school administrators, thereby contributing to the nation's educational sector. Speaking as proxy for Yombly, that's Nobel laureate Madam Lema Bowie, as program marking the graduation of over 700 persons from the Lacoste's College of Education over the weekend. Representative Mensah underscores the crucial role of education in national development, thus rallying stakeholders and development partners to prioritize investment in the sector for the advancement of future generations. Representative Mensah meanwhile urged the graduates to be innovative in shaping young minds, describing teachers as key figures in nurturing future leaders. She further noted that fostering students' engagement in the classroom through feedback mechanisms who significantly enhance their academic journey, stressing that beyond imparting knowledge, teachers play a transformative role in molding students into productive citizens. For his part, the valedictorian of the graduating class, Manfred Morbat, admonished his colleagues to uphold the professionalism and their actions must reflect the standard of integrity and competence. Liberia has been ranked among the top 10 stable countries in Africa. The rank is done by the Africa Country Instability Risk Index report, as read for a short published by Business in South Africa. Liberia is ranked 5th place with the stability rate of 26. Cape Verde is ranked number 1 with the score of 21, while Botswana is in the 10th spot with the stability score of 33. A high score on the index indicates a higher level of political risk to business, and in a country that scores 70 and above is categorized on a red watch 60 to 69 critical, while 50 to 59 warning, 40 to 49 vulnerable, 30 to 39 stable, and below 30 is categorized as safe. In 2017, Sub-Saharan Africa SSA experienced a bit of everything elections that shaped major economies, attempted coups that stopped the share, and global conflict that had reaped effect across the continent. Meanwhile, climate disasters like floods and drought added even more pressures. And away from Liberia, the Sudanese army says it has broken a near 2 years siege imposed by the pre-military Rapid Support Forces RSF on the key southern state capital of El Abel. The breakthrough came hours after the RS signed a political charter in the Kenya capital of Nairobi to establish a breakaway government in areas under its control. The RSF and the army have been in various battles for power since April 2023, with tens of thousands of people killed, millions forced from their homes. The war has plagued the country with the army controlling the north and the east, while the RSF holds most of the Darfur regions in the west and parts of the south. Abu, the capital of North Kordofan state, is strategic hub connecting the capital Khartoum to Darfur. Well, that's it for the news bulletin. Is back to you, Naketa Roberts, for the continuation of the program News Desk.
Ria TV, True FM.
Say Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
into True FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrier?
The black barrier is to tell Joseph Bakala if you don't organize yourself in a respectful manner, we'll take your paper like
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
Some news summary of 12. My name is Hansen Dev represent.
Welcome to News and Analysis 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life that what you see. I live a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life that what I live. You know, with my family and
I have a lot of interest in the health sector, the educational sector, and the agriculture sector. Both connecting those things.
We are calling international community to come to intervene for us because, like I just stated previously, we don't know who to trust.
The bulletin of news this evening. If you're just joining us, you're listening to 45 minutes of news from the News and Current Affairs Department here at the Renaissance Communications Incorporated. Top stories we following this evening. President Joseph Boakai issued executive order on support for refugee and vulnerable people, protection of beachfronts, waterways, and wetlands, revenue collection on international travels, and mandatory firearms registration. Liberia ranks among the 10 top countries in Africa for stable economy, according to Africa Country in that's Instability Risk Index report. Defense lawyers one criminal Kosi George Roosevelt Willie dismisses indictment against former finance minister Samuel Tweeden orders, says their client's action bordered on national security. And out of Liberia, Sudan army says it has broken a near 2-year siege imposed by the paramilitary rapid support forces on key southern state capital of El-Obeid. For first development this evening, President Joseph Boakai has pledged his government full support in developing Margibi University into an institution of higher learning, promising that his government will work to expand the infrastructure of the university. Speaking at the third graduation ceremony of the Margibi University over the weekend in Habel, President Boakai also unveiled plans to cooperate with partners such as China Union and Far Eastern Liberia to provide the necessary resources to enhance quality education in Margibi.
We must commitment to quality education and equip our students to lead with excellence. Technical training and career mentoring are vital motivators for success in the lives of young people. Myean University has continued to engage qualified trainers and mentors. It is also essential that Myean University continue to embrace and enhance the construction and improvement of its infrastructure. This includes upgrading library, the integration of open information communication technologies, and the development of teaching resources that will provide the best learning experience for students. As technology develops, we must ensure that our education system is aligned with those to prepare the student for future challenges.
That's the voice of President Joseph Boakai speaking at the 10th graduation ceremony of the Myean University over the weekend in Habel. The National Commission on Higher Education has begun the inspection of universities and colleges aimed at clearing substandard higher institutions of learning throughout the country. The executive director of the commission, Professor Edward Wakoyom, disclosed that the inspection will cover strategic plan, curriculums, and academic qualification of faculties, classrooms, and landscape of the institutions, environment, and accreditation. Speaking in an interview with this station in Monrovia, Professor Wakoyom made it clear that following the inspection exercises, the full reports and recommendations will be forwarded to the Board of Commissioners of the National Commission on Higher Education.
We are looking at so many things, including the following variable. We are examining the qualifications of faculty. We are looking at their qualifications. Then we are also reviewing the curricula of the various institutions, the various programs. We are looking at their curriculum, individual curriculum. We are looking at the strategic plan of the university. We are also inspecting spaces, including classrooms and the landscape of the university, to determine if these spaces are conducive for a democratic learning environment, for our students. So this is the thing that we are doing. Presently, we have about 79 colleges and universities in the country. The ones that are registered with the National Commission on Higher Education are 79. Out of the 79, we are very cautiously inspecting them to determine the qualification standards and their democratic spaces. The inspection is going to last up to the middle of March, and we will be submitting we read our report and submitted to the Board of Commissioners of the National Commission on Higher Education, as well as to the Liberian public. Then we'll have a press conference to explicate to the Liberian people the outcome of the exercise. Any institutions that ultimately failed to fulfill the mandate or the requirements that have been set for them to function, we will have no other alternative but to shut them down with an immediate effect. So we have encountered institutions that are in deplorable conditions, institutions that lack to qualify faculty.
He's Professor Edward Wakoyom. He's the executive director of the National Commission on Higher Education, speaking in an interview with the station in Monrovia. Deputy Youth and Sport Minister for TVET, Larimar Yonton, has underscored technical and vocational education as a beacon of hope in harnessing development in the country. Minister Yonton believes by acquiring TVET skills, it enables citizens to be self-sufficient, thus reducing dependency and high level of poverty within any country. Speaking as proxy for Vice President Jeremiah Kong, as keynote speaker during the 6th graduation exercise of over 900 students from the District 7 Skills Training Center over the weekend in Monrovia, he assured government's commitment to fostering support a strong partnership in developing standardized curriculum for both public and private TVET institutions.
Our privately owned investment in TVET programs has served over the last 10 years as a beacon of hope for the TVET ecosystem. And I want to particularly thank Representative Don for his courage, his vision, and his wisdom, but not just the wisdom, but the commitment in seeing this vision too. And so today, we honor that legacy of private providers who form part of the transformation process of our society, who are shaping young people every step of the way to ensure that they can transition to become productive citizens. And there's a long line of unsung heroes and patriots who are working every day in our community to make this happen. As a government, we are committed to working with all of our private providers. We're committed to fostering a strong and reliable partnership with all of our TVET private providers. First, in the area to ensuring that we can standardize all of our curricula for our schools, both in public and private spaces. We also want to ensure that we popularize the only TVET training institution. So my media will also foster that collaboration. So as you see, DSS TC teachers will begin pipelining them with the only TVET teacher institution we have, the TVET Training Center for Research and Innovation.
His Deputy Youth and Sport Minister for TVET, Lariman Yondonde, underscoring technical and vocational education as a beacon of hope in harnessing development in any country. For his part, the founder and CEO of the DSSTC, Maserati County District 7 Representative Emmanuel Dan, acknowledged graduates to serve as catalysts of change in the society.
And show the world what you can. Follow the practice. Do not go and sit home. You have acquired skills. Make use of the skills. Those of you who come nothing good is ever coming on you. This is what you want to do now. Then the community is something wrong. See this unique occasion. Take place today. 5 years, totally a tuition-free institution like this has not been easy. No support from the government, no support from any non-governmental organization, just our family resources. It has been very tough, but has been worthwhile. Seeing you here work out today. And so just imagine every month from our personal pocket, we take 235,000 to pay our instructors and supporting staff.
Maserati County District 7 Representative Emmanuel Dan. Assistant Minister for Secondary Education Abbas Kanga Jr. has revealed that approximately 80% of elementary students in the country are over the appropriate age for their grades. Kanga Jr. mentioned that many students aged from 13 to 19 are found in grade 1, while the expected age for the grade is 6 years. He spoke on Sunday at the City Hall in Buchanan during the 5th graduation of the SPE students of the Yombly Care Foundation. Bon County District 7 Representative Myean Breeze Mesa is urging the Liberian government to provide a subsidy for Lycosa College of Education to strengthen its operation. Speaking for Lema, that's Nobel laureate, that's Madame Lema Bowie, at program marking the graduation of over 700 persons from the Lycosa College of Education over the weekend. Mesa urged the graduates to be innovative in shaping their minds, describing teachers as key figures in nurturing future leaders. Chisborne County District 7 Representative Mema Britt Mensah there speaking as proxy for Nobel laureate Lima Bowie at program marking the graduation of over 700 persons from the La Costa College of Education over the weekend. The National Executive Committee of the All-Liberian Coalition Party has declared Lucini Camara as a lifetime politician, that's political leader and standard bearer of our core national chairman, Ansu Dole, disclosed that the first political leader, Lids Alhaji G.V. Kurman, made the decision when he was on his dying bed. Mr. Dole made the disclosure at a program aimed at preparing members of the All-Liberian Coalition Party for the holy month of Ramadan at the headquarters of ACO along the Japan Highway on Sunday.
Professor Alhaji G.V. Kurman had a wish when somebody is above or is almost going to heaven or to God, whatsoever the says and author began an obligation. It began an obligation for us to implement that. We will not know our own life. That is another thing. And that is where we are. No matter the circumstances, no matter what it is. And so God has blessed us, this community, with a leader. God has blessed us before the late professor went. He endorsed somebody that you should replace me. Who am I to deny that? I would say clearly that the Honorable Lucini Camara Sr. will forever remain the standard bearer, the one that bears the standard of our party. I want to make it clear to everybody there is no vacancy as a result of being standard bearer for this party. No vacancy.
He is the All-Liberian Coalition Party National Chairman Ansu Dole. Speaking during the program, the political leader of the All-Liberian Coalition Party, Lucini Camara, appealed to youth in the party to exercise patience as efforts are on the way to seek employment for them.
Of the challenges of our beloved country Liberia during the month of Ramadan, that all of us put together to remember our country, to remember Liberia, to remember the leadership of this country, Mama Liberia, to pray for, and to pray for the president, court officers. They are working with him and backing the committee to carry a series of program activities during the month of Ramadan. But again, we discuss the point to our youth that you are not forgetting everything is possible to make sure the opportunity in our country, ACO, that you benefit from it. Please think that ACO will never forget the youth. You are the foundation. You are the foundation of ACO. ACO will not benefit from anything and forget about you. ACO will not benefit from anything and forget about you. Please, you can remember, because time, this is the unity party movement coming. So we continue engagement.
He is the political leader of the All-Liberian Coalition Party, Lucini Camara, appealing to youth in the party to exercise patience as efforts are on the way to seek employment for them. A pro-democracy organization, the Faith and Justice Network, is calling on the Liberian government through the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, the Assets Recovery Team, and the Justice Ministry to make individuals found guilty of corruption not to only face the full extent of the law, but also have their ill-gotten gains confiscated and returned to the public coffers. The network executive director, Reverend Torgbean Jala, said this will send a clear message that corrupt practices will not lead to personal position, but rather to the loss of ill-gained worth and privileges. Addressing a press conference held in Monrovia on Monday, Reverend Jala pointed out that the proceeds of corruption should be used to fund initiatives that benefit the people of Liberia, including infrastructure, projects, education, and healthcare.
Justice Network, FGN, applauds the President of Liberia for suspension of non-compliant government officials. The FGN commends His Excellency Dr. President Joseph N. Boakai Sr. for his decisive action for suspension of non-compliant government officials who have failed to declare their assets as required by law. By suspension of non-compliant government officials, the president has sent a strict and clear message that ethical governance and adherence to legal standards will not be compromised. This bold move is a crucial step in upholding transparency, accountability, and the rule of law in Liberia. This initiative reinforces the commitment to ensuring that leaders serve the people with integrity, responsibility, and respect for the rule of law of the land. As
He's Reverend Dr. Tobo Jala there. He's the executive director for the Faith and Justice Network. He's calling on the Liberian government through the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission and Assets Recovery Team and the Justice Ministry to make individuals found guilty of corruption not to only face the full extent of the law, but also have their ill-gotten wealth confiscated and returned to the public coffers. Lawyers representing former Finance Minister Samuel Tweed and others on Monday filed a motion before Judge Roosevelt Willis seeking to dismiss the indictment drawn against their clients at Criminal Court C. Defense lawyers' 10-count motion, among other things, cited the 2011 Act creating the National Security Reform and Intelligence as their reliance to dismiss the indictment. Section 3F of the Act states that every member, personnel, or employee of the National Security Council shall be drilled or trustees of the secrets of the country. According to them, the over $6 million United States dollars that led to their indictment was used for national security operations. As such, coming to court to disclose any information will be in violation of the Act. Let's now join Peter Tobe for more updates.
Listen and Josh, and now the case was about to start in our certain way for the case to start, and then they started with this motion, a 16-count motion to the court asking Judge Willis to dismiss the indictment against the Crown on ground that all the actions that the Crown had took all brought around national security, and they quoted the 2011 Act that created the National Reform and Security, meaning that confidential information which brought around national security that cannot be discussed in the public. So it builds on that the party's motion, even though the issue of party motion will have some notice for 24 hours for the party motion this morning. So it builds on that the solicitor with the key lawyer that in the case at Criminal Court C has said that they interposed no objection, but they pray on the court to give them time, meaning that they pray for continuance. So based on that, Judge Willis and gave them continuance up to the Wednesday. So the Wednesday we expect this to so far they replace them to this, and then Judge Willis will be assigned to hear this matter with rule as to whether it is basis or not. But as we directly said as previously that the defense team has requested for the jury, I told the jury was about to be selected as on the surface with this motion to dismiss the criminal indictment against them completely.
He's RCR Judicial Correspondent Peter Tobe. Citizens of Grand Cape Mal County have staged a protest against the appointment of Delano Colley as the county's health service administrator. Delano Colley was recently appointed by Health Minister Louis Porto. His appointment has since been resisted by citizens of the county. RCR Grand Cape Mal County correspondent calls the protesters as calling on Health Minister to recall his appointment on grounds that he does not have the requisite qualification to serve in such position.
Of Mr. Colley as the county health service administrator. And recently we saw a communication coming from a group called the Consensus of Grand Cape Mal County, and according to them in their communication written to the county superintendent, who happens to be the co-chair on the county health team, according to them the Ministry of Health to report Mr. Colley on grounds that he is not qualified for said position. When I had an interview with them this morning. They told me that Mr. Colley, according to them from background investigation, is a certified nurse, but the position in which you were appointed to in the country requires one to be an administrator, at least be a bachelor degree in said discipline or in a related discipline. But according to them, he does not have set qualifications. So in their request to record him is according to them that the UC issue in Liberia, where the United States government record UC projects in Liberia, and taking into consideration the health sector is surely depending on donor partners in their mind. The coming of Mr. Colley will further damage the sector. That may require correct report to partners, and from that the partner was cleared away from the health sector, and they will further discourage the health sector. And so this morning the stage of peaceful protest at the county health team office in Single Town in Gawula district, and we spoke to the lead of that protest, one Thompson Katamba, and others. They were clear. The county health team officer head here Dr. Kovac came out, and he talked to them, telling them to keep kind. And in our protest, we also witnessed where the Senator Tabak Fatla called on telephone, and you know now Senator Fatla is the chair on the Committee on Health, and so she asked them to give her at least 2 days to intervene and do an investigation.
He's RCR Grand Cape Mount County correspondent Jenkins Mabarnin. Sorry, we could not bring you sports on this news program. During this newscast, to recap of the top stories we have been following. President Joseph Boakai issued executive orders on support for refugee and vulnerable people, protection of beachfronts, waterways and wetlands, revenue collection on international travels, and mandatory firearms registration. Liberia ranks among the top 10 stable countries in Africa, according to African Country Instability Risk Index report. Defense lawyers warn criminal court C. George Receiver Willie dismisses indictment against former Minister Samuel Tuwe and others, says their client's action bordered on national security. And out of Liberia, Sudan Army says it has broken a near 2-year siege imposed by the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces on the key southern state capital of El Obeid. Many thanks to our contributors, our editors, writers, and all who helped in making today's edition of the program News Vex a success. Not forgetting our sponsors, Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited. Edwin Batafoyan brought us the Bulletin of News. Kopo Sanga coordinated the sounds, and Naketa Roberts presenting. Have a blessed night.
Ria TV, True FM.
Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
True FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrel?
The black barrel is to tell Joseph Boakai, if you don't organize yourself in your barefoot manner, we'll take your later Liberia.
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
News Summary 12. My name is Hansen Der Represent.
Welcome to News and Analysis 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life that what you see. I live a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life that what I live. You know, with my family and
I have a lot of interest in the health sector, the educational sector, and the agriculture sector. Roads, connecting roads in this country.
Yeah, we are calling international community to come to intervene for us because, like I just stated previously, we don't know who to trust.
Always make sure to turn on to our
Ria TV and listening to Truth FM 96.1.